Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you all doing today? My name is TopCap Gaming, and it is finally time for me to cover the last class for the loadouts I have yet to do. I have started all the way from Scout and covered the loadouts for classes like Scout, Soldier, Demoman, Heavy, Engineer, Medic, Sniper, and Spy. Not specifically in that order though. I started from my least favorite, least played, and I've worked all the way up to my number 1. And if you're interested in starting from the very beginning and seeing from the least favorite, least played working all the way up, the playlist will be down in the description below. But if you're interested in taking or checking out a class in particular, the annotation will be on that respective class. So feel free to jump around and see what loadouts I have for the other classes. But it has finally come time for me to wrap things up and take care of the loadouts for my most favorite class. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would like for all of you to meet my Pyro. So, going all the way back to the early days of my TF2 experience, I was really trying to figure out what class I really wanted to be considered the main for. I started off experimenting with a Spy because I really liked being able to sneak around and pester the other team while my team was trying to push or capture certain objectives. I liked being able to take out sentry nests, but I kind of grew tired of that, and I found the trick stabs to be, well, tricky for me. So I started experimenting with other classes, and the more I observed how really good Pyros were able to play, the more I became interested in trying to become a Pyro main. I saw videos of being able to get all these cool reflect kills, and being able to reflect jump with rockets and pipe bombs. I found that to be like the coolest thing ever. So I started experimenting with the Pyro, and I just fell in love with this character, this class. Even though that he can't say, or she, we still don't know the gender. Even though the Pyro can't say much, he's sorry, I just constantly default to the he for the Pyro. It's just going to be that way. The Pyro is just a wonderful character with so many expressions and so many wacky features about him. Plus, he's just a monster on the field. He's considered a support within the competitive TF2 scene, and I've always liked playing as support characters in a lot of games such as, well, TF2 and League of Legends. So the Pyro just fit me well as not only as a play style, but as just a personality in general. The Pyro is definitely treated as a silent type because, well, no one can understand what the hell the Pyro is saying. And I don't talk a lot. I usually talk when I feel like I need to say something important. And aside from that, the Pyro is very helpful for teams being able to take care of Ubers and extinguish out enemies. I love being able to help out my team and help out anyone that I care about. And so the Pyro is definitely the right fit for me as a TF2 player. But Aside from that, let's get to the loadout. So I'm running the degreaser, the flare gun, and the power jack. This is pretty much the go-to that I play as. I'm really good at being able to shoot enemies from a distance with the flare gun, kind of tooting my own horn, but nevertheless, it's my favorite class and the one that I have the most kills for with strange weapons. So being able to go one-on-one with enemies, that's pretty much my specialty. But I always, if you want to know how to deal with me as a Pyro, play as Pyro. I can't seem to get down the whole like puff and sting combo, in which you temporarily light the Pyro on fire and hit them with the flare gun at the same time. And with the tough break update, it's really hard for Pyros to do that now. So yeah, if you want to be able to take on me, just play as Pyro. And in situations in which I feel like there's too many Pyros for me to deal with, I'll switch out the flare gun for the shotgun. And yeah, that helps me deal with them. And then the power jack is just for mobility purposes. It's nice to be able to get around the battlefield. So that's offensive. Now here's defensive. I have the degreaser with the shotgun and the maul. This situation is pretty much to deal with any type of class. Degreaser is very good for being able to just light people on fire. But actually, now that I'm considering about it, in certain situations, I might just switch out the degreaser for a regular flamethrower, because of being able to do more afterburn damage. The degreaser is mostly just to help with the switch speed, being able to switch over to the shotgun and then over to the maul if I need to be able to help take care of sentry nests. But this is pretty much my standard loadout, except for like the degreaser, in which I might switch to just a regular flamethrower if I need to be able to do more damage with fire. Now my fun loadout is the back burner with the detonator and the power jack. This is purely focused on mobility and being able to get around the enemy and take them out from behind with the back burner. As much as I like playing with the back burner, sorry, it's a little bit of a dry throat. As much as I like being able to play with the back burner, this festive I feel like just takes up too much room, and so I usually have the view model turned off for this one. Even though I don't like to turn off view models, I usually do for the back burner. Aside from that, I usually tend to play, as much as I hate to admit this, I tend to play the Phlogistonator with this kind of loadout, but I do my best to stem away from it. I usually only switch over to Phlogistonator if I really hate someone on the enemy team, and the back burner is also helpful for being able to extinguish teammates if they need to be extinguished, because, well, the Phlogistonator, even though you become a monster, you can't help out the rest of your teammates. And that's something that I don't like to do. If I'm playing the Pyro, I want to be able to help out my team, not only by, killing the other team, but also saving them from burn damage and air blasting. So the back burner is something that I tend to play more in this fun loadout, unless someone really pisses me off, and then I'll go Phlogistonator. And speaking of the Phlogistonator, my man versus machine loadout is the Phlogistonator with the Scorch Shot and the Neon Annihilator. Now for this, it's really good, considering with the Tough Break update how the Phlogistonator got buffed. You get Ubered and healed, so this is really good for when you build up the flames and then you go you activate your oomph meter. Scorch Shot helps really well, being able to light robots on fire and with the knockback it helps for being able to push back some robots. And then the Neon Annihilator is for being able to not only help out the engineers in their sentries, being able to get 100% crits against targets covered in man milk. It's really helpful. And so, even though the Pyro is not exactly a popular choice when playing man versus machine, I'll play the Pyro when I'm not able to play as the engineer, which is normally my go-to class for man versus machine. Pyro's high up on the list for MVM, but engineer is always going to be my number one. And with that being said, that is all of the loadouts, and that wraps up the Meet My Mercs series. Bittersweet knowing that this is going to end, but like they say, all good things must end. So, with that being said, my name is TopCap Gaming. Thank you all so much for being so patient for this final loadout, and I hope to see you all in a future video. Alright, take care. Sorry. Let me face forward. There you go. Alright, now you can take care.